So whether you are non-monogamous, monogamous, or anywhere in between, maintaining sex in a long-term relationship can be hard. A lot of times the sex starts to wane after a certain point, right? So I became obsessed with this. I'm like, it can't be true that we are just supposed to fade out into this place of just cuddling in front of our favorite TV show. So what's going on? So when you look at the neurobiology, at the beginning of a relationship, you have the new relationship energy or limerence, and a lot of you know all about that. So, that's low serotonin that makes you obsess about your new lover, and dopamine and adrenaline, and this potpourri of neurochemicals happen in the body that make you feel like you are on a natural drug high. But this fades out. And what's left is oxytocin, the cuddle hormone that makes you so good at cuddling with your love in front of your favorite TV show. So, some therapists, even Esther Perel has suggested this, like do something that re-stimulates the new relationship energy, right? Like jump out of an airplane and then have sex, have a threesome and then go home and have sex. But, we can't do this on a weekly basis, right? It's not sustainable. So that wasn't the answer. So I kept obsessing about this. What is it? And I realized that I feel like after the new relationship energy fades out, what's supposed to replace it is intimacy. But we suck at that. And if you don't believe me, think about the most basic Tantra exercise. So imagine one partner is sitting on the floor cross-legged, the other partner is doing the same or has legs wrapped around the lover, hand on heart, breathing and looking into each other's eyes, right? So even after a minute of that or less, people get giggly, uncomfortable, fidgety. Why is that? Because, oh my God, if this was the gym, people can't even lift 5-pound weights without shuddering. Like we have no positive affect tolerance for intimacy, positive affect tolerance, being able to tolerate positivity. And I can talk more about that term in another video. We have to build a muscle to tolerate intimacy and love. The more we've had injuries in our backstory, the more we've had things that have taught us that people will betray us, people will leave us, people will lie to us, the less we have positive affect tolerance for intimacy and connection. And for a lot of us, that's most of us. And then on top of that, sometimes we have culture that teaches us not to be intimate or connected. So what are we supposed to do? One is just to be conscious of this problem, right? So once we're conscious, then we can do something about it. Two great means to tackle this problem is either Tantra or BDSM, kink, specifically DS dynamics, or a fusion of the both. So if we think about Tantra started out not even being about sex. It was about just being present in the here and now with another person, And so if you do Tantra exercises with your partner, and there's great places to take classes on it all over LA, you learn how to build that muscle. That's what Tantra is all about. It doesn't even have to be about sex. It can be simply about intimacy. You can go to classes where you have your clothes on and you simply learn and are taught how to be intimate and connect with your partner. And with DS dynamics, and I'm not talking about all the kinky folks out there, right? Because there's plenty of kinky folks, just like there's plenty of folks that are not into BDSM or non-monogamy, etc., that do not know how to connect, right? So I'm not making this a blanket statement, but I am talking about people that have a DS dynamic, and they're able to let go, melt in. They have the emotional connection and the intimacy tolerance to melt in to a DS dynamic where the sub is in sub space, the dom is in dom space. They go into this primal place and there's this energetic connection where everything else melts away. Now that can be achieved through Tantra or DS. I was talking to a tantrika, one of my dear friends, just the other day, and she described it as God sex. God sex. Think about that. That's where we're supposed to be going, but we're scared to, because it involves being open-hearted. It involves facing our fears with the person we love most. And that is terrifying for most of us, whether we want to admit it or not. So if you want to have hot sex in a long-term relationship, I invite you to look yourself in the mirror, see where you're at with your intimacy. Wherever you're at, it can be better, you know? And before you explore this kind of work, you may have to do some self-work. You may have to have an intimate journey with yourself, right? Because until you feel that connection in your body, how are you going to connect with another person? All right, I'll talk more about this in other videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.